Call the Highland Village Community Development Corporation meeting for June 29th to order. Let the record reflect that all members are present with the exception of Megan Glass. I want to thank everybody for meeting us tonight on this budget meeting. Are there any visitors' comments? No, doesn't look like it. Okay. All right, item number 3, receive a presentation and discuss the annual updates to the Facilities Development Capital Improvement Program and budget for fiscal year 2026-27. And Ms. Heather, how are you tonight?
I'm well. How are you all?
Good. Thank you for coming and joining us.
Well, sure. I'm looking forward to
It's
it.
good news.
It's pretty good news.
Good.
Just kind of start off with a little bit of history about the 4B. The voters have approved the 4B sales tax back in November 2020 or 2004, and then it became effective in April 2005. And the 4B sales tax can be used for the city comprehensive trail plan and the soccer complex. And the board is comprised of 7 members. From citizens and council members. Let's get started. We usually like to start off with looking at where we are expected to end the current fiscal year compared to where we had budgeted. So just looking at our total revenues overall, we expect to be about $47,000 under budget. And the big source of revenue for the 4B is obviously the sales tax. And if you can see the trend since about 2023 has been pretty flat. With this year, we're expecting about a $40,000 to be under budget, about $40,000 in sales tax. Another important source of revenue is the rental income. We had budgeted $70,900 and kind of expect to be pretty close to that at $71,500 at the end of the year. And just so that you know, these year-to-date actuals, that is as of May 31st, 2026. And then we have interest revenue, and we are expecting to just be about $11,000 short of what we had budgeted in 2026. Are there any questions on revenue before I move on to expenditures?
Yes.
Okay.
The sales tax revenue from the actual versus budget is roughly 50%. Do we expect over the 5 months from the date of this report, where do we expect that to land?
We expect it to be about 1.8 million. So with the actuals, the collections that we received in May was actually from March sales. We're about a 2-month lag with the state controller. So at the end of the year, we accrue those back into the current fiscal year. So we wait for the October and November collections to come in.
Of the calendar year, then we adjust the budget for the
or the actual amounts, to account for the August and September sales that we get in October and November.
Are we expecting a decrease in that budget? In the sales tax revenue?
We're expecting, and I have it on another slide, but it'd be about level, just kind of, that slide actually has the 2027 budget, so you can see it's just kind of flat.
So
we don't expect a big change in sales
index to
tax.
prior year, we're tracking, is what I'm hearing.
I'm sorry?
So index to prior year, so how we were doing this time last year, we're tracking.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're tracking. It's about maybe a 1%, less than 1% increase over year, so it's a very minor increase. Yes, ma'am.
what decides, I see that the rental income and the linear park fees, does that all go into the 4B bucket? Or how do you decide what goes there or the parks bucket?
So what's in the rental income is for at the DoubleTree, it's the barn and the pavilions. So it's, since it's the complex, the soccer complex, that's why it's
Does
accounted
that
for.
include the GLASA fees?
I'm sorry?
Does that include the soccer GLASA fees we collect?
Yes. Yeah.
And then what are the linear park fees?
Those are when developers come in, they pay a
Okay.
fee for a linear park. So we put that towards the 4B since it can enhance our trail system.
Okay, sorry. Yep.
Relating to expenditures, we're $400 over budget is our expectation at the end of the year. We expect to be about $79,000 under budget in personnel. That's related to a few, there are 4 positions that are paid out of the 4B funds. There had been a reallocation of those positions, so some of the employees that were moved into the 4B are in a different pay range than what was previously done. Also, the health insurance, they just had different health insurance options. So we are expecting to be under budget by $79,000 for personnel. Yes.
On personnel, do we back check how many hours they spend on 4B stuff versus not 4B stuff? Or they only do 4B stuff? Or do we, how do we track that to make sure we're
We don't
allocated?
track it, we just designate for employees that are designated to those parks, Lakeside and DoubleTree.
So we don't know do they spend all their time there or do they get moved other places?
We don't track it.
So we don't really know the actual cost to maintain from a personnel standpoint our 4B facilities.
Well, yeah, we're not doing it hour to hour, we're just,
Okay.
Designated for employees, a crew, a park crew with a leader and some techs that are designated to those parks.
And their time spent is on the DoubleTree parks.
In trails, in Lakeside, yeah.
Everything they do is for 4B.
What's
Yeah.
Lakeside? Lakeside?
Well,
Lakeside Park.
It's the one that Salmeyer tees into right off the lake.
Okay, got it. I just know it as the old drug house part.
The old drug house, that's it. Yeah.
I like Lakeside more.
Yeah, I like Lakeside more. No, yeah, it's a better name. If there's ever changes to the 4B, it would be helpful to know. We should track the hours that are spent, because what if there's changes in 4B allocations in the future?
yeah, they may, I don't know, does it City Works, do you track it by, you may track it by City Works, we don't track it with the timekeeping, so that may be the difference.
Does that answer your question, or you want to?
Well, we need a metric. If there's any changes that are going to be made, we need to know where we're starting from, I guess that's my question.
So the work order system tracks hour by hour and projects, and we're always refining that. I think I spoke to that in council, and we're getting much better at that. And the goal is to prepare for situations like that, quite frankly, because I've been there before. So we're very robust with our work order system, whether it's CDC or Park Board, or excuse me, Parks. So we think we can get that data pretty close.
That would be helpful to know just where we stand versus on our budget. So it's a good thing to start
Yeah.
tracking.
Yep, and we've been tracking it for a couple of years now.
Okay. Yeah, if we could get that, it'd be great to compare it against our budget. To see
Sure,
how
it
all
might take a
aligns.
minute
Oh,
because.
no, I get that.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay, next category of expenditures are professional or services and supplies, which we are 79,000, or expect to be 79,000 over budget. And that is comprised of the professional services of $77,000 related to the design for the FM 407 connection, and the city trail erosion control study. And then just general supplies and equipment is over budget by $1.7 thousand. Yes.
Does that professional services include the upcoming proposals?
No, that is what is expected to be paid this fiscal year,
26, 27?
25, 26.
Oh,
It will, that would be in the next year's budget.
Okay, got it.
And this, we're looking
Sorry.
at how we're finishing off this current year.
And for utilities, just at Doubletree? Or do we have things on trails that we maintain from a utility standpoint?
It's just Doubletree.
And I assume that's one of the things where we can look at our electricity usage across our parks. Okay. Thank you.
So we expect for fiscal 2026, at the end of the fiscal year, to have 3.1 million in fund balance. So now we'll look into the next fiscal year. Looking at sales tax again, just because our history has been pretty flat the last few years, we're just projecting a pretty flat or a minor increase over 2026 of $1,830,000. For rental income, just a minor decrease, or I guess it's an increase over 2026 budget. And then for interest income, we're projecting to have to earn about $134,000 in interest income, and that's mainly related to our expectation that the fund balance would increase and we have more cash in the bank. And so for personnel, compared to the budget for last year, again, there was a reallocation of employees that are being funded by the 4B, that we're going to maintain that structure. So we're expected to be lower, our budget to be lower than it was in last year. And then looking at supplies and services, we have professional fees. We're expecting to be $59,000 under budget compared to fiscal year 2026, with supplies and services being the majority of that decrease. And the biggest line item that we have in supplies and services is the park maintenance line item. So this is just a snapshot of the ongoing maintenance that we have compared to kind of one time or one every few years type of expenditures. So for 2026, we had the repair trellis at Doubletree Ranch Park, and then we had to add a 4-foot gate to the splash pad fence. And then for 2027, we have the pavilion truss staining at Doubletree Ranch Park, and then a splash pad filter.
I had a quick question. I'm not as familiar to public financing versus corporate financing, but do you guys have the ability to like CapEx or amortization schedules on your equipment or any of that good stuff?
We have our equipment on a replacement schedule
Okay.
that we plan out to try to kind of smooth out the expenditures over years.
The trellis at Doubletree Ranch Park. Is that the trellis around the barn?
The shade structure around the barn, is that the trellis that's being talked about being repaired?
For 136,000?
Yes.
Yes.
So that was almost complete. At the bottom, though, you've got a pavilion truss staining. Was that not part of the original 136 or the repair trellis piece? Why is it separate?
Yeah, I don't know why that's in there. That shouldn't be in there because it's new and it's stained.
It's already been stained, right?
Yes.
And I would
That's
assume
what
it
I
doesn't
thought.
need another one every year.
Yeah.
Is it anticipated to restain every year?
No, we have it every 3 years, and I think it just landed on that like third year in 2027.
Oh, so it might have been staining from the older one.
Yes, and it just wasn't removed.
Okay, it got replaced, but we didn't remove that from the
Yeah,
schedule.
we can remove that.
Okay, so that'll bump that up to, that'll change that.
An 86,000 difference. And then the splash pad filter, what was the last year we replaced that?
And there's the last time we replaced, it's original with
Okay.
with the splash pad. So it's
Okay, so
about
this would be the
approximately
first
11
time.
years old. The manufacturer no longer supports, it's no longer made. The lid has broken a few times. It's been epoxied. I mean, it needs to be replaced.
You're
It's
doing
had-
patch jobs.
Yeah, yep.
And that's anticipated to be done in '27?
Yes,
After this season ends.
yes. The current one is holding on. We're doing everything we can. Yes, ma'am.
Or will this be more of a supplemental when the price comes in to fix the $24.99 under tunnel trailing thing?
Yes, it's later on in the slides,
Okay.
but yes, it will be a supplemental.
Good question.
So at the end of the year for next fiscal year, before we take out the $23,000 for the staining, it would be $844,000, increasing the fund balance to $3.9 million.
One final question, and this might be to Phil again. What is the employee development that we're doing here that makes it 4B funded rather than Parks funded?
Say that one more time.
The employee development here, what's making it 4B funded versus Parks funded? Is it something just because it's specific to the employees that are 4B paid, or?
Correct.
Okay.
That's right. It's a professional development and training.
Okay, so just like how their insurance would go underneath 4B, this would be underneath 4B?
Professional, are you talking about supplies and services up top where it says professional services?
Where it says
Oh, employee development. Yeah, that is
assuming
for
that's training
licensing,
and
certification, training, CPO, certified professional operator.
Right.
Certification, recertifications, continuing education. The continuing education they have to do for their chemical licenses.
Right, but it's under 4B
Right.
specifically for the 4B.
For those employees, just like the parks
Okay.
are specific for parks.
Okay,
And the same thing with core. Core budget, those employees that are assigned to that, they have a professional development budget too.
copy. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, this leads us into the supplemental request. Bill will review those with you.
Yes, ma'am.
We haven't seen-
Okay, so we have two supplemental requests. One of them is pond diffusers for Doubletree Ranch Park at $13,456. And there's slides, a couple of slides. Renovation of the city trail landscape beds at $24.99 tunnel at $275,000. And we'll just jump right into it. So the pond diffusers, the fountain was removed in January due to the equipment failure and the cost of repairs, which is approximately $9,600. Now, a fountain has a lot of mechanical and moving parts in it, and it has electrical that is in the water leading to it. So the failure is in the electrical and then also the mechanical pieces of a fountain. They're pretty, they're nice, but basically that pond is a retention pond, if you will, for the neighborhood there. So it gets a lot of sediment, a lot of debris, much like Unity and Village, and then also Marauder Park. They get a lot of debris, so that debris gets sucked up, the filter, it overwhelms the filter, a lot of movement within that pond that happens that is, that you wouldn't see typical within a pond that is naturally fed either by a spring or rainwater. So just keep that in mind as we move forward with this. So the diffusers are less expensive option, and they actually improve pond health, reducing algae blooms, and far less to maintain and have a much longer life. So the turnkey cost for the pond diffusers is $13,456. There's a 3-year warranty with that. And currently we have diffusers at Marauder Park that are 3 years old, Village Park that are 2, and Unity Park that are over 12 years old with minimal repairs.
And these are all first install ages.
Yes.
Like they got put in and now they're 3 years old, now they're 12 years old. It's
Yes.
not replaced and now it's 3 years old.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're trying to move away from the fountains because of the amount of maintenance that's associated with them. There's just a tremendous amount. I was looking at a work order report for the repairs at Doubletree, and I haven't confirmed the actual cost, but it was a few $1,000s in addition to what it cost to maintain it leading up to that, where the pond diffusers don't have that. They don't have that cost associated with it. And overall, like I said, it's pond health that really we need to be focusing on and reducing the amount of maintenance that we currently do with things like this. So is there any questions? I don't know if you've noticed these or what a pond diffuser does, but they're little bubblers. Basically, they're introducing oxygen into the pond, and that helps with the water and oxygen within the water and the wildlife there. And it keeps the water moving, which algae like stagnant water. And during the summer, when it's really, really hot and it's stagnant, you get a lot more blooms than if you didn't have diffusers in them.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to ask anyways.
Okay.
How much have we spent in repairs on that 12-year-old Unity diffuser so far?
I don't have that number, but I did ask that, and because it's so old, and our work order system, we're still, adding to it. I don't have a hard number, but I'm going to tell you, based off of what I've been told on the repairs, it's not significant at all.
Cheaper than doing repairs on the fountains as we have now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Cheaper than replacing with a diffuser.
Yeah, there's no electrical with this. This is a
Right.
tube that runs from a compressor, and it's held down by a weighted system, and it has a filter on it, and it blows bubbles. That's what it does. It blows bubbles into.
You don't need to run electricity to it.
Not to it in the water. It's outside.
It's outside the water on land.
Is there any more questions about this?
Where would the compressor be?
Somewhere right outside, basically where the electrical is for the current fountain.
Noise?
So there's a panel, there's an electrical panel. So if you're facing, and I'm just giving you a general area, but if you're on the fishing dock and you're looking into the pond, to the left, as you look over the bridge that goes over to the land bridge and then into Louisville,
Right.
kind of over there, there's an electrical panel. So it's going to be somewhere right around in there.
Okay. Are we expecting the noise level to be minimal?
Minimal, oh, yes.
Is it electric run compressor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
Good.
You don't even notice at Unity. How many of you have been to
I was
Unity?
going to say, if it hasn't been an issue at Unity, then
Yeah.
it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
This is going to be by the other mechanical equipment, isn't it? Look
The other
over there.
mechanical equipment?
Next to the lift
Yeah,
station?
all that other stuff, because it,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of ways from it, but yeah, in that general area.
that general
yes.
area, which is
Okay.
far removed from everybody.
Yep,
Thanks, Phil.
you bet. Am I going backwards? Okay, here we go. City
forward.
Trail, so you all are very familiar with this. Landscape beds, it's $24.99. Tunnel, there has erosion and drainage issues and needs to be addressed, was a sustainable plan. So the current task order with SPI is for $26,600 for tunnel erosion control study, which will provide 4 landscape options with opinion of probable construction costs, which I will bring to this board to review, and then you'll make a recommendation later. as to where we need to head and possibly a funding agreement with the city. So the cost of $275,000 is a placeholder for engineering and construction. We don't know what that is, but I needed to put a number in there.
Because this is a number we talked about before the conversation of retaining walls came up. That was my question. And so
Yes.
I'm going to go out on a limb based on my experience that that's going to probably be higher because you're
Yeah.
going to need structural, you're going to need a bunch more than
Yeah.
just our guys taking care of it.
Retaining walls are expensive right now.
Yep.
Yes.
They are.
That's
Mr.
a-
Concrete knows.
Yep. Would you like me to change this number?
I would say be more aggressive than conservative.
I would triple the number, in my opinion, at least.
You would triple it?
Yep.
Do that.
The shoring, between the shoring, the design, the equipment to do it, the design, engineering for the wall, and then the actual putting the wall in, just that alone, I would guess close to 100,000 to 125 by itself.
It's very expensive. I mean, I would say closer to $1 million for.
I have
for everything.
825,000. I
Yeah.
tripled.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah,
Kevin?
no, like I said, I'm thinking of it from just from a
Is that net-
cost.
Is that
Your
net
soft
new
cost.
or existing? Are you talking net new cost or
New,
existing?
there's no
Yeah,
wall there now.
Brand new.
We've got some significant issues there, and when you talk walls,
How much cement, sorry, I don't even
Yeah.
have my thing on, but,
Wow.
yeah, right?
big fail.
So are you,
We'll wait.
thank you. Are we going to have to do a retaining wall over here?
It's one of the options that was discussed with the board, one of the four.
Yeah, I
But
just,
I thought that's what they were looking at, was that's where they needed
I
more
think
along the
we were going to do the study
2499.
first
Yes.
to determine what we
Yeah.
needed,
But
obviously.
if it veers towards walls,
But
And it might be a combination.
yeah.
you're thinking budget worst case scenario.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because you've got piers, you got a lot, geotech, you got a lot going on when you talk about walls. It's not just build a wall, there's a lot of soft costs
Sure, I
behind
understand
it.
that, but the conversation we started with was how we can re-landscape this using riprap, I think you said, right? And now we're talking about walls,
That's-
tripling the numbers?
Yeah,
I don't know
that's,
if I missed something.
no, but when one of the options came up, and SBI is now doing a study, and I would see the walls more be shoring up on the road area, but I don't know. But when
Yeah.
you introduce the term retaining wall versus riprap and baskets, you get a whole new level of fun. That's all.
And where are we coming up with $850,000?
So do we need to
If
go
we
back to
end
the
up
fund
with that
balance?
number?
We can go back to the fund balance slide?
Well, no, I don't want, yeah, let's do.
Okay.
Aren't you writing a check, Brian?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Wow. You want to speak to it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I understand after 2027, if we have to pull out $800 to $1 million out of this, we're back to a $3 million fund balance. How's that overall going to affect all the other projects that we've talked about trying to get done, right?
right, yeah. That's part of the
What's the
consideration,
actual
I think.
impact?
Yeah.
Is what I'm concerned about.
I mean, that's something we would have to consider with the other projects.
And
Right.
when you say other projects, you're talking about the FM 407?
FM 407, I'm talking about the
About the
three other
priority
trail options
trails.
that we were trying to get put together, and anything else that we had that we wanted to try to complete.
Sure,
Those
not
are the
to jump-
priorities.
Right, not to, talk about the FM 407, but there was options to self-fund through, our funding sources rather, through DCTA, TRIP funds, and then also the potential grant, which
Right.
wouldn't hit this fund balance, at least during the presentation.
Right.
So,
If we got that. Now,
yes,
right, so that it's an if.
yes, it
And-
is. It's a big if.
From a perspective of the board being responsible with the money, right? We hope for the if, but what's going to happen if that if doesn't happen, right? Where are we if that if that is a no and we don't get that grant? So we're going to be back to how are we going to deal with the 407 project and the options that we put forth on our trail connections, right? And how is that going to hit if we have to spend $1 million for that tunnel?
Well, I think those are all, options in the future, but more importantly, the board can decide whether or not they want to fund it if the grant does not come through. And if the grant does not come through, the option is you don't fund it and you shelve it and apply for the grant at a future date.
And obviously, there's a lot of ifs in this commentary.
Yeah.
We've got to get a study done first and decide where it's going to go. So I understand that. I'm just looking at it, $275,000, and now we're at $850,000 is
It's a whole nother.
quite a jump that I don't think
Ask-
anybody was
Back check me, but
anticipating.
it's a whole new level of stuff. It's different.
But that's
Right.
if we have to put in a wall.
That
That's
would
it,
be, that would be a absolutely worst case
Yeah,
scenario.
that's what I mean, that would be the worst case, but we always should take care of, because this has been something going on for years. We need to make sure we can maintain what we have
Right.
before we get new shiny things.
No, I agree. It's just, I don't like the number, but I understand it.
Well, you're writing a check, so it's fine. Just kidding.
So what number, we got 825.
Well, I'm going to have to defer
what do you think?
to the individuals in
worst
that
case.
industry.
I think to be honest, it comes down to a worst case scenario. And everyone is here for this conversation, so no matter what you put, it shouldn't, now that we're aware of it, it shouldn't be a surprise whenever it comes through, right?
Understood.
Yeah.
This board won't change again until October or November, and
Yeah.
by then the study should be done anyway, I
Right.
would assume. So I think for us, that's just the realistic cost that we're looking at, and we're all aware. Whether you put 225 or $1.5 million, we're aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, thanks for the clarification.
And there's
because-
pictures that show.
Yeah, no, I think in my last conversation, I think I missed the last meeting. The last conversation was landscape and riffraff,
Right.
and so I felt lost, but I feel like you guys are talking about worst case, you guys are the experts, so I'll follow their
Well,
lead.
and it wasn't that until we had the SP, that SPI said they were going to look at these different options, and the R word come up. Well, the R word was not discussed until then, and it's just a totally different set of tradesmen, a totally different set of responsibilities. It's just different.
Makes sense, I was just lost. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do we have a tentative date on when that study's going to be completed?
No.
Okay.
We just got it approved on the 23rd of this month.
I was hoping.
Yeah. But when I get it, I'll pass it on. How's that?
It was what? You couldn't get it done in a week?
I can't. So here's some of the pictures of the trail tour, and you can see behind Rhonda and Matthew, the drainage challenge back there. And just showing both sides, this would be the east side. It's not as bad on the east side. The study does cover the east and west side. And also this can be phased depending on how the opinion of probable cost comes in. This is us meeting with TxDOT out there and just trying to understand if they're part of the cause of the problem. They're saying no, but there's a
They'll
lot of...
always say no.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of silt there, but, really, we're being diligent. That's what these pictures are showing. We're trying to do everything that we can to mitigate some of the cost. They recognize that they weren't doing the maintenance, that they could do better on the maintenance, so they've noted that. And this is a
There it is.
drone view of the whole area.
Well,
And you see all the little lines? That's the failed irrigation. The We Don't Live
Right,
in Israel
these.
irrigation.
That's right. All of these are drip irrigation. You can see all the drainage veins through here and over there as well.
That's a lot of retaining. I think.
It is.
I think it's I don't know, ultimately the end result might be a combination.
Yeah, it might be. which would be great. It's
Yeah,
just,
just looking at that outer left side, I don't think that needs the bulk of the retaining. It's probably the steeper grades, and I don't know,
Yeah.
could be wrong
I
there.
think I just bought it hook, line, and sinker, that between riffraff, changing irrigation, new landscaping. I think that was kind of our initial
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah, it
I
was.
was sold.
I thought,
I was sold.
I got the coupon for that too.
These slopes are no more prominent than those on the toll road that TxDOT's dealing with. These are less so, from what I've seen. They have some pretty steep.
Yeah, there's,
Yeah, they have 4-to-1s.
They do.
These are less than 4-to-1s, but it also depends on what the soil is, the compaction, and.
Sure, that's
and all that, but
understandable. I
yeah.
understand that, but they've apparently have, at this point, have solved their problem
Yeah.
using landscaping and not having to put in retaining walls.
And
along
riprap.
those. And riprap,
They use a lot of riprap.
right,
It's 4-to-1 is the steepest you're going to go without a wall.
yeah.
But even that's testing the boundary.
So I don't like 850, but we've got to get a study to determine what's
Yeah.
best, and as long as they don't try to sell us on the wall, you know.
I just hope we're wrong.
I do too. I don't want to spend $850,000 if I don't have to, but when I look at this and I look at what I see on the toll roads that TxDOT's been doing, I don't see retaining walls on there. And their slopes are steeper, so I
And with
mean, I'm
that-
hopeful.
And there are 3 council members, or 2 council members plus the mayor that will see that supplemental. So I would say, even though we know what the cost could be, I would say, and this is just a recommendation, a happy medium of going in probably either the 550 or the 600 range, to at least have it on record for whenever the supplemental is reviewed by council.
And that's a good suggestion. I think if we're going to do something like that, we need to give them what we anticipate, the range, the full range,
Okay, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I'd rather get it out there and say, well, it could be as low as this, possibly,
yeah.
if we're right. But if we're not, then we could spend close to $1 million on this.
Yeah.
So we're leaving the 825 in there,
Yes.
and then with the explanation in terms
Right,
of
do a range.
that's the high point, but it
That's what
could
we,
be.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we
as
could
long as there's
probably-
context, I think
Yeah.
it's fine.
yeah.
And they'll give us the options. And then we figure out what option works.
Yeah, after the
Don't
study
steer
comes
us to
through.
one option, just give us the options.
Right.
No steering, just options.
Yeah. And so like the native grasses, and I don't want to just repeat the whole project, but they're problematic because they're susceptible to disease and grubs and other things like that. On the amenities that we've been improving in-house and redoing, the zoysia grass that we put out there is sustaining and is doing phenomenal. So that's cheap, inexpensive, beautiful lush green grass with a traditional irrigation system in there. Very low cost, very low maintenance, mowing, blowing, edging, and going. But it provides a different contrast and a different texture than Bermuda grass and the weeds and everything that are there now. So, I'm going to try, when I speak to the landscape architect, I'm going to let him know what we've been using that is being successful and has proven success for the past 3 years with very low maintenance, very high visibility, and sustainable as part of that option, part of those options.
And your reference to the grass is primarily in the east side where the circle,
These areas right here
okay,
and part where it makes sense.
right. And you've already done that in that circle on the other side,
Oh, yeah,
correct?
it's beautiful. Did you guys like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks nice. It still looks bare to me, but that's my opinion. So my suggestion was, let's get Friends of Highland Village available and see if we can get a tree in there sometime.
We can't because it's an Encore property.
Encore, that's
Yeah,
right.
they have restrictions
That's right.
on plant material
We can't do
heights.
anything underneath it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Forgot about that. All right.
This is the east side, and you can see where we place riprap here. And we've also since then placed riprap here. Well, you can see part of it right there and it's mitigating all of these drainage areas that we have problems where it's washout. When the water is rushing in during high rains, it's coming around that corner and washing out and, putting mud all through here. So we put a Band-Aid on it, and we have bikers, mountain bikers that come through here, and they'll come down through here, and they've added to the erosion issue. I'm sure there's some of that happening on the other side as well. But this riprap has completely eliminated the erosion issue on this side. We put a Band-Aid on it. It was easy. It was inexpensive. And then, part of the plan is, can we create circles, put traditional rigid irrigation in there, and put perennials in there to add some color, like in this area, like we did at the round bed. So this is just a Band-Aid. And I want to note that this is working.
Yeah, I guess their study will also look at pulling some of the drainage off, because, you can pull it to that swale, the other, just seems like that might be big issues, just drainage.
And there's just some more pictures. And these are just pictures I provided to the board as successful projects. And you see that slope is pretty steep right there. Although it's short, it's very steep.
Hey, Phil, before we get too far
Yes.
along, I'm not as familiar with you guys with 2499 future. There's no future expansions or anything that we have to be concerned with?
With the state,
Yes.
there is, but from what I understand, and Paul can speak to it, and correct me, Paul, but it's within the current boundaries.
Okay.
If they're adding a lane, it'll take up the median.
Yep.
Okay, so,
That's their
no-
new method.
no
of
throwaway
doing-
work.
Yeah, no, that's their
No
new
throwaway
method
work.
is
Yeah.
yeah.
inside. They get all the right of way they want up
Got
front.
it. Got
They
it.
only have to buy it one time, and then the method is to in the middle.
Good way to do it.
So this is one of the last remaining maintenance areas when I stepped in, this one and Brazos median. And then we'll be sustainable after this, so I'm pretty excited about that. Everything is just now, we're in a maintenance routine where we're either replacing plant material, and a lot of folks, I know it's difficult to understand that plant material landscaping does have to be recharged every so many years. Plants do die, trees do die, things like that. And it's hard at times to get that across to folks. But even though we put the landscape, make the improvements there will be the frequent plant material replacement from time to time that does happen. It doesn't mean that it's failed. It's just that, diseases, weather, age, things like that, it's a growing, living thing. So from time to time, we will have to replant plant material in these areas.
And that study, is it also coming with landscape
Yes.
options? Okay.
Yes, it is. So these are some of the options in terms of landscape that work currently in the city. The Mexican sagebrush, red Turk's cap, salvia, or red star, and then we also, sea oats. That plant is prevalent around the splash pad, and it's like a weed, and it looks beautiful. It's taking off. So we're taking those plant materials that work and that are successful in very stressful areas throughout the city and thrive, and we're placing them throughout the city. And that's what's making it sustainable with our landscape plan moving forward. We're not trying to reinvent or bring new plant material that maybe is working in another part of the Metroplex that oftentimes doesn't work because it doesn't take into consideration the environmental factors, soil, watering frequency, things like that. So we really are using Highland Village adaptive native plants, if you will, for the success of our landscape program moving forward.
You need to go get some irises that Miss Kelly spread all over the city.
Yeah.
They came from Maryland.
And so they're native and adaptive now.
They've been here 40-something years.
Oh,
And
that's
if you look
awesome.
and see the irises all in the old section, they all came from Miss Kelly's house.
Is she willing to fund a new round?
Yes.
Yeah. Usually there's bags of bulbs in front of her house, but yeah.
So this slide, it incorporates the supplemental request that we just talked about. Obviously, after adjusting the Trail City improvements, we'll need to increase that. So I'll update that for our next meeting.
Going back to the supplemental, the $288,000, I had a question about it. It's a small amount, so the 270, roughly $13,000, I believe. That was for the recharge system in the pond.
Yeah, the diffusers.
The diffuser. Should that be a supplemental, or should that be, since it's a maintenance issue, should it not be incorporated into the budget?
We just talked about this, and because it's a change, a significant change from going from a fountain to a diffuser, I felt like the board needs to, weigh in on it.
Rather than
So,
just
yeah.
making the change, you'd rather have the board say, yeah, we're going to go with that, is what you're
Yes.
getting at.
The
Okay.
goal is to get, at least from a maintenance standpoint, is to replace all of the fountains with diffusers. They're a lot less maintenance intensive.
So is that the philosophy we use for the chessboard canopy? Because that is a maintenance issue as well, right?
Correct.
We're having to replace it. Would that not be a budget item, or should it be a supplemental?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I remember correctly, it was a supplemental.
Yeah.
And it might have been just because if Phil's needing some direction from the board, you might want to put it as a supplemental, so it kind of
More
highlights it.
identifiable this way.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that works.
Were the other diffusers for the other ponds supplementals?
Unity didn't have a fountain feature.
Marauder did.
Marauder does. It has diffusers, and I'm going to be taking this to Park Board
Okay,
because that is in failure as well.
understood.
Yep.
The fountain is in failure.
Yes.
Not the diffusers.
Not the diffusers. Yep.
It's got both?
Yes.
Okay. We don't need to
And
talk about it.
it has both because it significantly increases the pond health, the quality of aquatic life there, the fish. And we stock our ponds. We rotate them every couple of years with catfish and other fish that would be adaptive to those ponds. So we want to maintain a healthy aquatic balance. This community is a huge fishing community, and especially now with the kids out of school, we launched a whole safe backpacking program for fishing for that. You know that, being on the Parks Board. So we really focused in the quality, not just the visual, but the quality of water to sustain the aquatic life that is there, which is the fish, is a big part of that. And these diffusers help that tremendously.
Okay, thank you.
Does that change things for you?
No, not really, but, I understand why they want to do it as a supplemental,
It
to
adds
bring the attention to it.
Too.
Yeah.
Over there by the
Yeah.
electrical box.
Right,
They have to dig a hole or a trench to get
Right.
that tube over there to
Right.
the pond.
right.
Okay. So part of the budget process is updating the Facilities Development Capital Improvement Program and identifying those new projects for future consideration. So some of these, most of them we've talked about already. So we will be adding in the Village Connection FM 407 Corridor Trail and Amenity Station and the City Trail Landscaping Project, and then the priority trails on Briar Hill and the district connections. Any questions before I move on that?
Are we going to go into more detail on future slides?
No.
Okay. So I guess just because I'm brand spanking new here and I want to make sure I'm on point, when it's talking Village Connection, FM 407 Corridor Trail and Amenity Station, are there specific things that have been presented that are being discussed as a part of that, or is it the overall project?
If I could, I think it'd be a good idea for me, you, and Brian to get together.
Sure.
And talk about that.
So I don't derail here, that's fine.
Yeah, no, well, it's not derail, just bring you up to speed. There's a lot with it. And-
Yeah, no.
And next week, there's going to be more information pertaining to it, so,
Thank you, Phil.
yep.
Yeah, Mike's over here like, I want to get home on time.
No, but I think we've talked about this several occasions, so.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm probably caught up. I've been paying attention overall, but
Okay.
Okay. And so next we'll look at, the 5-year outlook, sorry. So, we kind of look at our revenue and expenditures over the 5-year period, and just to give us an idea of what our fund balance will look like in the future years. And again, this fund balance could potentially provide matching funds for grant opportunities, like for the 407 project.
The park fees, what are those?
The park fees,
The 3,000? Is that the annual?
I believe that's the
passes.
pavilion rental.
Okay.
well, that's not rental income?
No, well, not, we classify the barn as rental income.
And the pavilion is
As a
underneath
park, yeah.
park fees?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that, I think you said it earlier, is that also where the GLASA fees come in, the soccer fees are underneath the park fees?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we looking to increase those fees within the next 5 years?
Yes, we look at them every couple of years. And that process is, we have benchmark cities that we look at, and then our surrounding neighboring cities, because we're all using the same community members, if you will. So we try to stay, at least reach equilibrium where they are.
Sure.
So we do have discussions about that, and if there's an opportunity to raise them, we will. We also identify the uniqueness of the specific site. If our athletic fields are better, should we be charging a premium versus, so all of that is factored in, and we bring that to council every couple of years, and it does run through the appropriate board. So if it's CDC revenue generator, it'll come through CDC. If it's parks, it'll go through Parks Board, and you'll have the opportunity to speak about it and make a recommendation or provide direction, additional direction.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Good question,
if
though.
If we traditionally see every 2 years a 3-4% increase in fees, if they were built into these numbers, I just saw 3K across the board.
Yeah, they're not built.
Okay.
They're not built in the numbers. I usually don't build them unless I'm pretty confident that it's going to happen.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So that pretty much closes our budget discussion. Again, I'll make those changes that we talked about today, and then when we meet again, I'll provide those to you, those updates.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
All right, item number 4, discuss a date to conduct a public hearing and consider adoption of the annual budgets to the Facilities Development Capital Improvement Program and the 2027 Highland Village Community Development Corporation budget. Bill?
Yes, so we've got a few dates here for consideration to adopt the budgets with the minor changes. I think is it just one? No, it's 2. Yeah, it's 2 changes, and maybe we need to note that on the record what those changes are. One of them is, do you have it written down? One of them is the trellis staining for $23,000. That basically, roughly about that, will be removed from the budget, which that'll get done. And then changing the placeholder that we have in for the $24.99 tunnel landscape beds for engineering and construction from $275,000 to $825,000. And understanding that when that is presented to city council, that there's a range, with that being the maximum, and the minimum may be around $300,000, just depending on how those opinion or probable costs fall in. So those are the two changes, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, so understanding that, we have opportunities to at least adopt and make a recommendation for council to adopt, did I say that right? Okay, on July the 6th or 7th at 5 PM or 6 PM for consideration. And just to note, we are having a meeting next week where we're reviewing the options for half, and then also SPI's, a quote for SPI to do their study for the priority trails. That'll happen next Monday. So that is the 6th. Or July 20th or 21st, 5 PM or 6 PM, and July 28th prior to the council meeting at 4:30 PM, which is traditionally how this has happened in the 9 years that I've been here. So we're seeking some guidance from the board here as to which options would work. If it's on Monday, that means tomorrow we are doing meeting minutes and getting an agenda briefing and getting that posted with the posting for Monday's meeting tomorrow. Anything else is, will be okay as well. We won't be on such a time crunch, although the 7th is pretty close as well.
Unfortunately, I'm traveling those last 2 bullet points. Don't let that hold us up, though.
Okay.
If we have enough.
Wait, what, 2 days?
The last 2 bullet points there, so July 20th, 21st, and 28th, that will be in much cooler temperatures. No
I
offense,
think
that's
the
my
6th
preference.
and the 7th is pushing it, just because you have to call a public hearing, and it's
Yeah.
just, the optics aren't good.
That's a week,
Yeah, it's not good optics.
and not even really 4 more business days, with July 4th being
That's
Saturday. A lot of
true.
people are off Friday.
We
That
didn't
does
even
not count.
factor that in.
Yep.
Thank you.
And that means it's got to be posted tomorrow.
Yeah, you don't have time for 6th or 7th.
No, because it's business days. I don't think the holiday counts. So can we have the July 6th meeting still?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Has to be posted today.
And
Tomorrow, but it would have to be posted today to have a full day tomorrow. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
and then Monday.
Yeah, because Friday doesn't
It
count.
doesn't count.
No.
I think, Friday's off for most people, or federal holiday would count on Monday.
Federal holiday, yeah.
Friday.
State and
Well, you
federal
sure you had a
holidays
post?
don't count.
Yeah.
Did Lori show you how to post?
But it has,
So, I know you
6th
guys
is-
are going to be working on that. I don't think we have time to add this to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, and the
think
question
so.
is, we have to post it today in order to make the meeting on Monday, because I didn't factor in the holiday.
I think it's
Right.
5 p.m. I think it's end of business. I think we've missed the window. I think it's by 5 p.m.
Yeah, I don't think we could just
We
post
done
it
missed that window.
before midnight.
Okay, so we understand your concern on the 20th, 21st, and 28th. How about anybody else for those days?
Is August 10th too late?
It's got to be approved by July 31st.
Oh, never mind.
Yep.
That'll be in.
Well, let me
I
think
think I
of
have
this.
work travel for the 28th.
What about the 20th or 21st for anybody? I'm okay on the 20th or 21st.
So, yeah. I'm fine on any of those 3 days, the 20th, 21st, or the 28th.
Yeah.
Rhonda?
Although,
I'm
we
fine.
can,
Do we not currently have a meeting on the 13th this month?
No.
Well, it hasn't been canceled.
It hasn't been canceled. I won't be here on the 13th,
Okay.
and that's why I was hoping to do this another day. I want to be here for this vote.
Will you be here on the 20th or 21st?
I will.
Well, then
Yes.
let's
I
do
think
the,
those are the days.
yeah, do it the
Are
20th.
you okay, Kevin, on the 20th?
I'm-
21st?
It'll be a coin flip. I might be traveling, but I might not.
We can't do it the 28th either, because council has photos at 4:30 on the 28th. So we'd have to do it even
Try to make
earlier
your
in the
hair
day.
appointment. Just kidding.
Yeah.
You can do it on the 27th, though.
Or do it earlier on the,
A day that's not listed here, yeah.
yeah.
No 27th?
Correct.
I mean, I could do the 27th.
I can do the 27th.
Yep, I can do the 27th.
I can do the
We'll
27th.
be gone, Mike.
No, August 10th. Someone's doing
Okay.
August 10th out there.
So you'll be here for the 27th.
I'm here for the 27th.
Well, you guys okay with us doing it on the 27th then?
It's too late now, you already committed?
Yeah.
So that'll be,
You already said yes.
will the 27th meeting encompass the public hearing and the stuff that we were going to talk about on the 6th?
What happened to the 20th?
I don't know.
The 20th,
The 20th,
Kevin said
we have the
he might
half
not
stuff
make
that
it,
we need to present too. Just
and Matt
keep that
can't
in
make
mind.
it.
Huh?
On the
What?
Trails.
Wait, what? On the 20th, we're doing one too?
With this, whatever this meeting is,
Whatever we set this meeting for,
It takes everything
it's going to
and
take,
put it
it's going to
together.
have to encompass everything.
That's fine.
It'll be a longer meeting, but the 20th, the reason we didn't do 20th, we know you'll be gone the 20th. Kevin is questionable.
Potentially gone. We don't even know what Megan's
We don't
got.
know about
About
Megan,
Megan.
so we're going to have to push it to have at least one more. So
And the 27th is a Monday, so
27th is a Monday. I'm okay on the 27th. We can do the budget, and get it approved and ready for council. We'll have the half presentation
and the SPI presentation.
and the SPI presentation, as well as the trail. Well, that's the half.
On the half
That's the,
presentation, are you presenting what their proposals are going to be, or is it the actual studies?
it's requesting direction on what HAF has provided for proposal, and we need a direction.
So it's their
But-
proposals.
But prior to that, I'm going to provide the agreement based off of what the board had asked us to do, which was follow up with HAF and Associates on the assessments, the impact, our analysis, impact analysis for pedestrians, impact analysis for businesses, and then also the maintenance and operation analysis. So I'm going to present that proposal with the cost and ask for direction.
Okay, so just proposals, not any studies.
Not any
Okay.
studies, no.
What does that put us on the timeline in regards to the grant? Because now we're moving something, a decision back almost
Well-
3 weeks.
It's always better to go sooner with grants because you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we have until the end of July, is what they said?
well, the timeline goes, you want to position, and from what I remember, and submit the grant by January.
Okay.
But there's a lot of work that has to happen between now and then to, for the grant submission, there's deliverables.
That's why I'm getting the idea of that we wanted to have a decision by July to give us enough time to get to January 1st.
That was, and I just
Okay.
missed the holiday completely.
Could we just push it a day, Tuesday, and then you have tomorrow to post the stuff to get the meeting instead of Monday
Yeah, I
via Tuesday?
mean-
It changed our schedules. I don't know what we're,
I've already rearranged so much stuff.
yeah. That's
And
fair.
I have a commissioners court meeting on the 7th I cannot miss. Like, I've got to go down to Hill Country. So I've already, please, rearranged so much.
Okay.
No, that's fair.
What is Wednesday? What is today? Today's the 29th?
Wednesday would be the 8th.
Wednesday would be the 8th.
Okay, so here's the thing with 4th of July. I just realized this. 4th of July is not till Saturday.
Right?
No, but the federal holiday is on Friday.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, we still have to figure out, because they still have to do these studies that we have to look at. And I don't want to be rushed. And when they come up with, and we get their opinion on what they think we need, it's like, I feel like we're being pushed, and we're being pushed to a predetermined answer, and we don't have all the information. That's how I feel, it's being pushed. I mean, the whole reason for the 4-7 trail was to increase sales tax, but we've never studied that yet. That's my opinion.
Is Wednesday an option?
It is for me.
I'm in Hill Country all next
Oh,
week.
you're in Hill. No, all next week. Okay, okay.
I got county judges and commissioners.
Okay.
all week.
I'm out on the 20th. I have or 27th. Was it 28th, 27th? I have a medical procedure that day, so.
The 27th?
Yeah, but you guys, sounds like there's a majority, so don't flex on my behalf.
Well, so we've determined that the 20th doesn't work.
Missing 2.
Yeah.
Missing 2. 27th is the
Potentially.
best.
Really too.
But I'm
We need
assuming
to be
Kevin's
down a
gone.
man. Yeah, we only can be down one man because we don't know about Megan.
Right. So,
So Matt's out the 20th.
right,
We know Mike's
Kevin
out the
will be
27th.
gone.
Kevin might be gone on the 20th.
Might be on the 20th.
right. So that's questionable. We don't know Megan,
We don't know
what
Megan.
her position's going to be.
Next week, Rhonda's out.
Right.
Can you put a big old, can we turn this computer around and you can zoom me in from wherever I'm at?
It's not COVID anymore.
No.
Come on.
I tried that with the commissioners down there, like, yeah.
I mean, we're focusing on Mondays and Tuesdays here. What about a Thursday? Is a Thursday the 16th work for anyone?
I'm pretty open.
What's Thursday the 16th? Thursday the 16th's okay. I think, yeah.
Who else likes Thursday?
I should be okay with that too.
How about Thursday the 16th? That way we don't feel pushed to get it to council,
Right, I
the
just,
budget, which is we got to get the budget to council.
yeah, we got to
Right.
get the budget to council. It's the other stuff I just don't,
Right.
I really would like, when we have our consultants propose things, to just give us the options and not their opinion of which way to go. It's our job to do that. It's
Sure.
not their job to funnel us into a predetermined decision.
No, I understand that, but that's, we have to take the information provided by the consultants, no matter which way they present it.
Absolutely.
And we have to be able to decipher it on
Yep.
our own, so. All right, so the 16th works for everyone?
No problem.
Yep.
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock? All right.
Put that in my handy dandy calendar.
All right, we got it down.
Awesome.
And I apologize to the board. Man,
You're good?
we worked hard to get it on the 6th. It was a
We really
tremendous
did.
amount of work.
We really did.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everybody doing that, too.
Well, now I get to go help Uncle Bob.
There you go, see?
It's all right. I'll wake up Friday and forget that I'm not supposed to go to work about halfway on my way to work.
I woke up this morning thinking it was Sunday.
How'd you do that? That's way off.
My alarm went off, and I immediately was like, "Oh, it's Sunday. I'm fine."
Yeah,
And
I
then
guess your day off, but I lose.
All right, so
seconds later,
Yeah.
the 16th, we'll be able to get everything presented and available for us to move forward.
and that'll be the budget half SPI.
Yes.
All of
Right.
it combined.
Half budget and SPI, yep.
Is that where SGI's given us their options?
No, it's the cost for the study.
Okay, got it.
Yep. All right,
And I'll have slides that show remind where the priority trails are.
okay. Anything else? All right, thank you very much, Phil, appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. That is the meeting for the Highland Village Development Corporation special budget meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you.